Hi everybody, this is Matt the Rock and Crocheter. Welcome to my channel. And if you haven't stopped by before, welcome in. If you like the content, hit the subscribe, hit the thummies. And if you're returning to my channel, hey guys, it's good to see you guys again. Today we're gonna go over some makes that I've done. And I also have some needles that came in, and we'll be going over those. So get your best black shirt, your favorite band shirt, your favorite concert shirt, grab something cold to drink out of the fridge, and let's get going. So the first thing I wanted to show is Rebecca's thinking about knitting, and after the review I did of the prim hooks, or excuse me, the prim needles. After I did that review, she was interested in them, and I think it's something that she'll be able to a set that she'll be able to start with. So she actually ordered, and this is not the Rock and Crocheter being tough on the boxes. This is the post office being tough on the boxes. So here's the needles, and there are a size 2, size 4, size 6, and then the ones that I gave her were the size 11s. So she's got kind of a good spread of needles. And they're the same specs as the ones that I demoed. So they have a metal cable between them. And so, and if you can see them in there, they've got the funky points. So I think she'll be able to do great things with this. So she's starting out. So that's kind of exciting, because between the two of us, I'm the better knitter, she's the better crocheter. She, hands down, she's better than I am. But that's the way that goes. What I'd like to do is show a few makes that I did. Over the weekend, I was working on my Boggy Creek blanket, and I had my hands started to hurt. Really just my thumbs started to hurt, and because they bothered me for a while. And so what I did was set down my crochet hook and plopped the Centro on the table and made this scarf. So it actually came out really nice. It's really soft. It's kind of Halloween. It's got the green slimy color and the purple, and so it's kind of cool. So the yarn that I used was Loops and Threads, and it's Loops and Threads Facets. So it's that lime green, purple color wave Halloween thing going on. And the Loops and Threads is a 4-weight, and it's 100% acrylic. They're saying it's a 6mm US JA10 hook, and it is 279 yards. So I did this. I used actually 2 skeins for this, because I wanted it pretty long, and it's about 6 foot or so long. So it's going to be, I think, during the winter months coming up, it's going to be nice and warm. So I'm pretty pleased with it. So that is the scarf on this intro. So what I'm going to do is I'm waiting to get some equipment that I don't have. And as soon as I do, I'm gonna do a demo on my Centro, how to cast on, how to cast off, a couple of different, how to do a hat versus how to do a scarf, because they're different. And we'll, crank some out. I actually use the Centro quite a bit for stuff, especially for like around the holidays and stuff. It's really good for doing scarves and hats, and you can do panels with it, which I only did one just to see if I could do it. But you can, people make amigurumis on it, the smaller one. You can do all kinds of stuff with them. So as soon as I get the stand that I need, we'll go ahead and we'll go over that. What I'd like to show now is a make that I made actually quite a while ago. We were kind of cleaning stuff up, and it just happened to be under the pile. And that's only because it's been summertime. What I did was I was sitting one day and I was watching Rebecca, and she kept like rubbing her hands, and her hands are generally cold. I'm like the human furnace. I stay hot like all the time. But she has her hands get cold. So I was thinking, because I was kind of looking for a project, and I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'd been doing a lot of knitting in the round. So what I did was I did a rib stitch, and I made this funny looking object. And it's Malabrigo Micha. I don't remember the color, unfortunately. But what it is a hand warmer. So I knitted a tube, and so when her hands get cold, she can put her hands in it. So see, it's done in a rib stitch, and it actually worked up pretty fast. But it's a neat idea, for if you're using a bulky yarn or a super bulky yarn, and someone that their hands get cold. It's kind of a neat project. I kind of came up with it on the whim, but she actually uses it quite a bit during the winter time to keep her hands warm. So it's kind of cool. See? Here's the inside of it. Whoop! What the heck is that? So, it's pretty much same on the inside, same on the outside. It actually worked up pretty quick because it's a bulky. So it's kind of a neat project. She really likes it. So if you're looking for I'm sure you could do it in crochet. I'll have to take a look and see if I can find like something, because it's kind of neat, and it's for somebody whose hands, stay cold all the time. It's actually, because it's 100% superwash merino, so it will keep your hands very warm. Like my hands were really warm. So I did. This was one of the first shawls that I did, and it was Juan's pattern, and it was like it was for a simple shawl, and he got me going. I do like the way that Juan typically does shawls, because his patterns are usually longer, but not quite as wide, and I kind of like that. So, and this was all different. This was just all scraps of stuff. This is Malabrigo. The white is yak. The powder blue is yak. This greenish, that was Malabrigo. It was just odds and ends of stuff that I had lying around. So this is an actually fairly heavy shawl. And so, this was one of the first. Now, for those of you that had just started crocheting, and you get kind of, frustrated at stuff, well, the Rockin' Crocheter did the same thing. This is actually a granny shawl that I did. This is the first shawl that I did. And it was the granny stitch. The granny stitch came out great. The granny stitch came out fine. The shawl, on the other hand, Rebecca was very nice and said, oh, that's beautiful and you did a great job. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, what was I doing? Or what did I think I was doing? Because I was thinking I was doing big stuff, and oh no. So we all have those projects. Don't get disheartened. Just, plow through it, start on the next one, because you're gonna have some good and some bad. And this one went sideways. To start off, it was going really well, right? So to start off with, it's just a straight granny and granny stitch, and we're all cool. And then the Rockin' Crocheter took a turn for the worse. So I thought I was doing big stuff, and it just it's shaped like a manta ray. I just went like completely sideways. If I would have stuck to what I was doing, it would have came out good, I think. Excuse me. But no, I couldn't do it the easy way. I had to mess around. So I threw in some of these, some triple stitches, and threw in some, I was playing around with stuff, and Yeah, so I have these funny, so you can see the triangle shawl through the blue, right? It's a pretty good triangle shawl. And then when I started monkeying around, that's when it went sideways. So now I have this weird shaped shawl, but it's the first shawl that I made. And you gotta hang on to the first one because the first one's your baby. On to some current things that I've done. Now that you guys got a good chuckle out of that one, that's a keeper. So if you hear the cars and stuff, we have the windows open in the house because it's a beautiful day in California, and you know it's been really hot and muggy and stuff, so we have the doors open. So if you hear like a bunch of weird stuff, it's because the door's open. And now on to where I'm at with my Boggy Creek blanket. So I actually during Russ's live, I was waffling back and forth on a color, which was this one, which is Red Heart Spring Green. Because I'm doing a kaleidoscope blanket for my Boggy Creek blanket. And so I was kind of looking at this color and I wasn't kind of happy with it. And then someone suggested another color. So what I did was, the rock and crochet, I grabbed two colors. So I liked the one color, but yet I liked another color. So what I did was I actually used the two colors. So I have green in two of the corners and then blue in two of the corners, which I thought was kind of cool. I think the kids are going to like it. And then what I'm going to do is I've only got like 8 more inches around, so 4 on each side, inches to go around my blanket, and it's done. So what I think I'm going to do is around the outside, I'm going to do this, which is what the middle is, and continue a few rows until I hit the mark with this. And this is Unforgettable. This is Red Heart. And the color wave is Gossamer. That sounds fancy. So I'm going to finish it. So hopefully I should finish that this week. I've got to work on another blanket, which I've been working on for a friend of mine. And so I've gotten this far on the blanket. So I've gotten to this white, and I'm kind of waffling on what stitch I want to do, because I've done the spike stitch all the way through from the center all the way out, as you can see. So I'm kind of waffling on what stitch, if I want to do like a V stitch or an iris stitch for the rest of it, or I've been going back and forth, looking at my handy dandy stitch book, to see what I wanna do. So that's I'm kind of banging my head on this one as far as the next stitch I want to use, because this is for someone special, a good friend, and I want to make this is one that I don't want them all perfect. That's why I do do them, tear them out, do them, frog them, do them, frog them, until I get, what's in the old noggin. So this is, I'm kind of looking at a few stitches. So I'm gonna play with this week too. I did start a shawl with the Rena's cakes, and I got kind of myself. Rena's yarn is wonderful. I have to get back at it. I'm thinking that I'm gonna run it with this other color. I got some Rowan cotton yarn, and I wanted to run it with this because it's very close. This I liked, but they're not like, it's kind of weird green. But this one I thought was good. So I gotta get back into action and start over on this, because I've actually frogged a couple. And somebody asked me if actually I was talking to Rena, and she was asking if you can put this in a centro, and I tried a little bit and I couldn't get it to work. It was too small. So for like a centro or an Addy, this one is a little bit too thin. I couldn't get it to actually have a really nice stitch to it. So there you go, Rena. I hope that answered your question. But this week I'm gonna start on the shawl. So I'm in the fall crochet mode. I'm also gonna start here probably in the next day or so, because I have to cake up some yarn, which I can show you how I cake up yarn. I have a knitting project in my head that I'd like to get done, and so I'm gonna have like WIPs all over the place. So that's coming up. Towards the end of the week, I'm probably gonna release another video. I'm gonna try and bust out in the next couple of days, quite a bit of work once I get home from work. Do some work once I get home from work, and get some stuff done. So that way I got some FOs instead of all these WIPs. So that's what I'll be doing this week. And then, don't forget the Thursday live. We can talk about some stuff and take a look at some yarn, and answer some questions and just talk some mess. Okay. I'm working on, I've reached out to a couple of people. Also, I'm going to try and maybe on one of the Thursdays coming up, hopefully, I'll have a couple of guests to come on with me and hang out for a bit. And so, yeah, so it should be good. And then, as always, usually, Friday and Saturday, I'm hanging out with Russ. If he has me, he just wants me for my yarn, is what he wants. And so that'll be fun. And if you're up later and want to check us out, if we're on, by all means come and check us out. And it's a lot of fun with him. And you never know what's going on. And it's a lot of fun. So with that, I will see you guys later. I get some get some dinner and, get going and starting on these projects. So I will see you guys later. Everybody have a blessed rest of the week, and we'll see you at the end of the week. You guys take care. Thank you guys for everything. If you like the content, please subscribe. And like always, instead of these, hit the thummies. Because YouTube doesn't work on these. The Rock and Crocheter does, but YouTube doesn't. So hit the thummies and subscribe. Thank you to everybody. I appreciate it. You guys take care, and we'll see you towards the end of the week. Bye, guys.